Clothing option number 1, you have to have black pants and a long-sleeved white collared shirt. Girls' hair, long hair needs to be pulled back, or boys with long hair, their hair needs to be pulled back. No jewelry, no nail polish, no hats, and then you want to have closed-toed shoes, dark preferably, but if you don't have dark, that is alright as well. Clothing option number 2, the same, black long pants, closed-toed shoes, and a collared shirt and a show jacket. So my show jacket does not have to have a collar, but have a collared shirt on underneath. Has to be long sleeves.
Place your animal on the table. Handle your animal. Place your animal on the table. Examine your animal.
So when you walk up to the table on show day, you're going to have your cavy tucked in your arm like this. The judge is then going to ask you to place your cavy on the table. So you'll step up to the table, and then you'll take your hand and you'll put it around their body, and then you'll put your bottom hand on their rump, and then you'll put them down on the table, their backside first, then their front, and then you're going to pick them up. When you pick them up, you want to make sure there are no toenails on the carpet so that they drag or rip. So then you're going to turn them to face the judge, and you're going to extend their body just a little bit. You're going to take one hand and put it on their face. The other hand, you're going to tuck each front foot underneath the shoulder, then each back foot underneath each hip, and then you're going to set the ears and run your hand down its back to smooth out the hair and step back and smile. So after you pose the cavy, the judge is going to ask you to handle it. So to handle it, you're going to pick it up and you're going to turn it to the side. Remember, no toenails to touch the ground. Then you're going to pick it up. So you're going to take your 2 fingers, and I put them around the front legs, and then you're going to wrap your hand around, lift her up off the table, take this arm and wrap it all the way around and pick up the bottom, and then just pull her into you and put her head in your elbow and make sure there are no feet sticking out. And then you're going to step back and smile. The judge then will ask you to put your animal back on the table. So to do that, you're going to step up to to the table and just repeat the steps that you did to put her on the table and pose it to begin with. So you're going to take your hand again and wrap it around her, bottom down first, then her front. Pick her up, no toenails to touch the ground. Pose her towards the judge, extend her legs, one hand on her face, front foot under each shoulder, and then back feet under each hip. Then you're going to set the ears and run your hand down the back and step back and smile. After you handle the cavy, the judge is going to ask you to examine it. So you're going to pick it up, remember no toenails to touch the ground, and turn it towards the side. You then take either one hand or both, doesn't matter, to check the crown. You're checking it for mites, you're checking the hair. And then you're going to check in the ears. So you're going to look on the outsides for tears and rips and an ear tag, and check for mites on the inside. You do this for both sides. And then you're going to take your fingers and check the eyes. Again, you don't want to touch them. You just want to make sure that the cavy is blind and can tell and see that you're there. Then you're going to take both fingers. You're going to go under the muzzle. You're going to go around the cavy's legs and just to check for bumps and stuff on her belly. And then you're going to flip them over. So there's a couple ways that you can flip them over. I take both hands and wrap one around the shoulders, and then one is just on the butt to kind of guide how I flip them over. You can either lay them on the table, or you can pull them into you like this. I prefer to lay them on the table. I feel like it gives just a little bit more support for the cavy, but that choice is totally up to you. So after you flip them over, you're going to check the nose. You take your other hand and you come from behind so that they can see you coming so you don't scare them. You're going to check the nose and you're going to check the teeth. And then you're going to take your finger and you're going to check the hair in between the front legs and on the neck. Then you're going to pull up on each leg to check for straightness. And then to check the feet, you're going to put your finger in between the toes. Make sure there's 4 of them. Do this on both sides. And then you're going to take this hand and again come from this side and you're going to scratch the belly so that you're checking for hair mites and any lumps that could be on her belly. Then you're going to pull out on each back foot and you're going to take your finger again and put it on both the hock of the foot and the toenails, and you're going to check for any bumps on the feet, any cracks, and then of course the toenails with the 3, and do that on both sides. And then you're going to check the sex of your cavy. So you're just going to take your thumb and you're going to push down a little bit, and then you flip them over, and then you extend their body out, and then you check the central gland. The central gland is on the back side, and you just look through, make sure that it's clean, and then you go through the hair. So you run your hands up and scratch their back, and then you're going to smooth the hair down, and then you're going to take your fingers, and you're going to scissor the hair to check for length, and then you're going to pick up the cavy, turn them towards the judge, and you're going to pose them. So you're going to put one hand on the top of their head, one foot under each shoulder, one back foot under each hip. You're going to set the ears, smooth the hair, and then for the final step, you're going to take your hands and you're just going to check the width of your cavy. So you put them on both sides, lift up your hands, and step back and smile, and you're all done. During showmanship, it's really important that you keep eye contact with the judge and smile. You want to show them that you're having a really good time with what you're doing, as well as show them that you know that they're there, and keeping eye contact with them is a good way of showing them that you're aware that they're there and that you want them to be paying attention to you. So that's the best way to do it. And if the judge ever comes up and touches your animal, say they do this, you always want to repose it. Always, always, always. It's the most important thing because that means that you're still showing them the animal even though they've made any kind of contact with it.